All right, imagine this. You're getting hyped for the Miami Grand Prix, just vibing with all the energy of the weekend, and boom, drama hits. And not just any drama, Lando Norris level drama. Yeah, we're starting off hot because Norris almost got slapped with a serious penalty. Actually, scratch that. He did get penalized. The details? Wild. The atmosphere in the garage? Tense. And get this, it all happened in free practice. Not qualifying, not the race. Practice. So buckle in, because the Miami weekend is already looking like a roller coaster. Oh, and stick around, because we've also got some juicy stuff about Zak Brown throwing shade and Fernando Alonso backing a rising star who's catching everyone off guard. You won't want to miss that. So let's rewind to what happened with Lando Norris. Word dropped straight from the FIA stewards. Yeah, official business. Norris got called in not once, but twice in under an hour. That's right, 2 separate investigations during a single practice session. And the first one? Honestly, it was the kind of thing most people wouldn't even notice unless someone pointed it out frame by frame. Here's what went down. Norris was heading back to the pits and casually took 2 small tools out of the cockpit, basically inspection lights that the mechanics use to check the car. Totally harmless, right? That's what it looked like. But apparently, not to the FIA. They labeled it an unsafe release. Yup. The tools were taken out while the car was still in motion. Barely, but still. That's enough for them to say the team allowed the car to return to the pits in an unsafe condition. And with that, Norris was hit with a penalty that could potentially impact his entire Sunday. And I get it. On paper, sure. Safety rules are safety rules. But come on. This wasn't some dramatic, flaming exit from the pit lane. It was Norris putting away a couple of flashlights like he's closing up shop after work. But because of the way the rules are written, this tiny gesture triggered a whole investigation and put his weekend on the line. Now, if that wasn't enough, the chaos didn't stop there. Not even close. Just minutes after that incident, while Norris was still out on track, he ran into another situation. This time, quite literally. As he came flying down toward turn 17, one of the trickiest braking zones in Miami, he suddenly found Esteban Ocon right in his path. Ocon's Haas was moving slowly, Norris was at full tilt, and things got real sketchy for a second. Ocon suddenly swerved, and Norris had to slam the brakes to avoid a full-on collision. And sure, Norris kept his cool on the radio, he always does, but you could hear it in his voice. That wasn't just a close call. That was a "this could have wrecked both our cars" moment. Again, the stewards took note. Again, Norris was summoned. And now we're sitting here wondering, is he going to get another penalty? Is he going to walk away with a warning? At the time of this recording, we don't have a final verdict. So if you've seen an update, drop it in the comments. Let me know how it all played out. Because honestly, it feels like the stewards are Norris, like he owes them money. Now, before we move on to the next saga, let's quickly touch on Zak Brown because, yes, the man has entered the chat, and not quietly. Word started going around that McLaren was doing something shady, cooling their tires with water, possibly to gain an edge. Classic paddock gossip, right? Well, Zak didn't waste time. He hit back with a spicy little jab, denying everything and flipping the narrative. And in true Zak Brown fashion, he didn't just deny it. He threw a little shade while he was at it. The guy's got experience, and he knows how to fire back without even raising his voice. That subtle sass? Chef's kiss. All right, shifting gears now, literally and figuratively, to what might just be the most unexpected spotlight of the weekend. Gabriel Bortoleto. Yeah, if you haven't been paying attention to this kid, now's the time to tune in. Early in the year, no one really had him on their radar. Everyone was talking about Antonelli, Behrman, and Tsunoda, especially with how quickly Yuki got that Red Bull call-up. But Bortoleto, he's been quietly putting in the work, and now he's got Fernando Alonso singing his praises. Wait, what? Alonso? Yeah, that Fernando Alonso. The 2-time world champion, the guy who's been in F1 longer than some of these rookies have been alive. Not only is Alonso mentoring Bortoleto, he's managing him. And in Miami, he finally opened up about it. Alonso said that even though Bortoleto hasn't scored a single point in his first 5 races, the kid is doing everything right. Behind the scenes, in the simulator, during prep, he's nailing it. And look, Alonso's not the type to hand out compliments just to be nice. If he's talking someone up, it's because he sees something. But even then, the way he said it was kind of wild. He literally said Bortoleto has no fame, no results, but that he still deserves recognition. That's like a backhanded compliment and a genuine endorsement rolled into one. A little "you ain't done nothing yet," followed by "but you've got the juice." Now, if you're wondering why Alonso is hyping up a guy who hasn't scored, here's the kicker. Bortoleto is beating Nico Hülkenberg. Yeah, you heard that right. In qualifying, in race pace, the rookie is outpacing the veteran with over 200 Grand Prix under his belt. And that's not nothing. Hülkenberg may not have podiums, but he's consistent, sharp, and experienced. If Bortoleto is already outperforming him, even in a subpar car, we might be looking at something special here. Sure, Bortoleto still has a lot to prove. He's fresh, he's raw, he's only just starting to figure out how to survive in this brutal, elite world. But you can't ignore the trajectory. And the fan support? It's real. In Miami, there were tons of Brazilian fans in the stands, waving flags, cheering him on. Bortoleto even said it felt like a home race with how many people showed up just for him. He was emotional about it, said it'd mean the world to score points in front of them. His exact words? Scoring points here would be the second best moment of his career. The first, of course, would be doing it in Brazil. You love to see that kind of passion. So here we are, folks. It's only Friday, and we've already got Norris under FIA fire, Ocon playing chicken in turn 17, Zach Brown clapping back at shady rumors, and Alonso dropping truth bombs about a rising star who might just be Brazil's next big thing. F1 never disappoints, and Miami is shaping up to be pure chaos in the best way. But now it's your turn. What do you think? Is the FIA coming down too hard on Norris? Is Bortoleto the real deal? Should Alonso be scouting for the next big team instead of just managing? And will Zach Brown ever stop being the smoothest operator in the paddock? Drop your take in the comments, see where this story goes next.